Welcome back to LeapScholar. And today I have something very interesting in store for you. So we have a student with us who recently appeared for the IELTS exam in the previous month, in the month of March. And Rishabh is here with me. He scored a stellar band. I will disclose the band towards the end. We will also have a look at how the evaluation process happened. And I'm going to ask the same questions to Rishabh that were asked in his IELTS exam. So it is going to be very true to the actual IELTS exam conditions. I hope all of you are excited to go ahead with listening to how an actual exam looks like. Hi, Rishabh. How are you doing today?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking.
So how was your exam? How was the entire experience?
Yeah, first, when I entered the room, I was a bit nervous, but as instructed by my LeapScholar trainer, the trainer was very friendly and he was there to help me. He wasn't there to cut my marks or, make me more panicky, but he helped me a lot. And when I was not able to speak, he used to show me some hands and he was very helpful, basically. So it was a really
Wonderful.
good experience.
All right.
Yeah.
And were you wearing a mask throughout?
Yeah, I was wearing a mask throughout. We weren't even allowed to touch a mask with our own hands. It would have cost us some marks. So mask was perfectly compulsory.
All right. And where was your test held? Was it in Delhi or which city was it in?
Yeah, actually, I'm from Pune, so my test was in Pune.
All right. Excellent. Okay, guys, I hope you are ready. We are going to begin the speaking interview now. Good afternoon. May I know your name?
Yeah, my name is Rishabh Prashant.
All right. So good afternoon, Rishabh. I am Deeksha Mehta, and I will be your examiner for the day. Let's begin by talking about your work and education. So are you a student or do you work?
Currently, I am a student and I am doing my post-graduation in International Business Management from Sheridan College.
All right. So what is your college like?
My college has 3 campuses in the very same city, and I am in the Mississauga campus. So basically, it is a 2-kilometer route from where I live.
What do you like the most about your field?
I love the thing that I love about my field is that I'm able to learn about the international market in my particular field. So basically, it tells me about how the market works in every part of the world, and it also helps me to learn about how a market can be volatile at any point of time.
Is there anything you don't like about your studies?
Yes, there's one subject which I have that is finance. So I am not very good. I'm not very good with numbers. I don't like finance that much, but yes, it is one of the most important part of our course. But I try to work really hard on that subject. But yes, I don't like finance that much.
What do you plan to do in the future?
In the future, I want to become an international marketing and sales manager in a good MNC, and I believe I'm in the right path for now. So the course is very related to my career, so it will definitely help me to achieve what I want to do in the future.
Great. Okay. So let's move to part 2. That was the end of part 1. You have a minute to prepare. Please go ahead. Feel free to make notes.
Yeah.
I shall display your cue card. You have 1 minute to prepare, Rishabh. All right, we can begin.
The thing that is most important to me is my vehicle. The model is Aprilia. It is basically a non-gear bike. Actually, the story begins very like 2 years back, when I was very keen on getting my very first vehicle, and I was about to turn 18. My mother had promised me that she will definitely buy me a bike on my 18th birthday. So I was very excited on that very day. And when I turned 18, it was a gift that I wanted from a very long time, because many of my friends had two-wheelers and four-wheelers as well. And I used to use my father's bike. So I wanted my own vehicle. So my parents basically brought that bike on my birthday. It is very important to me because not only did they spend some money on purchasing it, but even I contributed some of my part, some of my savings basically, to purchase that bike. And yes, it is very important to me because I have almost completed like 20,000 kilometers on that vehicle. I use it I use it on a daily basis. And yes, when I saw that bike for the very first time, I was fascinated, and I loved it because the cc, basically the speed, the average that that bike gives, that is 150 cc bike. So it is a very powerful bike. And in today's generation, youngsters like us, we look for a bike or a vehicle that has maximum comfort and has very good qualities in it, so that we are able to enjoy our experience and enjoy every moment that we when we ride that particular bike. And yes, I remember that day very precisely, when I went to the showroom and they handed me my bike. That experience, that feeling was surreal, because it was my very first vehicle. And moreover, I believe the first vehicle in everybody's life is very
Okay.
important. So when I
All right.
rode it, yeah.
Thank you so much, Rishabh. That was enough.
Yeah.
And would you say that this bike would be easy to replace for you?
No, it is as I said, it is my very first vehicle that I brought in my life. So even if I bring a new vehicle in my life, it cannot replace the very first thing that gave you joy at that very point of time.
All right, that was the end of part 2. Now let's move on to part 3. So let's consider, first of all, how have people's values changed? What kind of things give status to people in your country?
Basically, before, when in the time when my parents were young, I believe the values were very different. At that point of time, money wasn't that important in their lives, so they used to enjoy their lives with very less amount of money and very less amount of luxury. But nowadays, in my generation as well, and as their generation has grown older, we need like good monetary value to live in today's world, and the luxurious life is a dream for everyone.
So do you think this will stay the same in the future?
No, this is something that keeps on changing as soon as you move further in the future, because luxury and monetary value is something that never stop, and that is never out of demand. Because one single person, even if he or she has a good monetary value and they do have a luxurious life, the human wants and the human needs are unlimited. So definitely it will increase in the future as well.
Okay. So what do you think of this way of thinking that I need to have a car or certain clothes to show my status?
I believe that monetary value and luxury is important in life, but yes, at till some certain point of time, because it is not always that monetary value or basically the luxurious life that you are living will every time give you happiness. Because there are some things beside from this that do give you happiness in life, and money and luxury is not always important.
All right. Finally, let's talk about the role of advertising. Do you think advertising influences what people buy?
Definitely, I definitely agree that advertising does influence many people, because once a person looks at the advertisement and they don't want to buy it basically when they see something about it. But the advertisement has some celebrities or popular superstars, to be very precise, and when they are showcased in those advertisements, they get influenced very easily and they buy that product even though they don't need it in their lives.
All right. Thank you so much, Rishabh. You have now completed all the 3 parts of the speaking test.
Thank you.
And we are now going to move on to the feedback. We'll be having a look at how Rishabh fared across all the three.
All right, let's have a look at Rishabh's speech and understand how well he fared and what was the reason that he got the band which he did. So as you know that the speaking exam is assessed on 4 criteria. Try and guess what those four criteria are. So we have fluency and coherence, pronunciation, grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. We are going to look at each of these criteria one by one and understand how Rishabh did. The first one is fluency, pronunciation. So I really liked Rishabh's pronunciation. I feel it was very smooth throughout. It was proper. There were not a lot of words which were mispronounced. It was apt, and the word stress was there on the correct places in the correct syllables. So I would definitely give him a band 8 in pronunciation. His tone kept going up and down. He didn't speak in a monotone. It was expressive. When he was talking about emotions about his bike, his tone went up and later on it came down. Then he was clear throughout the speaking exam, audible, loud and clear. The word stress, as I was saying, was on the correct words. There were, however, some occasional lapses, such as in words like vehicle and maximum, which he did mispronounce a little. So because of these reasons, I think he couldn't reach a band 9. Otherwise, he has a lot of potential. So in pronunciation, I would definitely give him a band 8. Let's look at the next one, which is fluency and coherence. Now, I do believe he managed to speak for 2 minutes. So I had to stop him when he reached 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So he had the ability to speak for a long duration of time without a lot of efforts, yes. But having said that, fluency is not alone. It's combined with coherence. So there was slight repetition and there was a dearth of a scarcity of connectors and discourse markers. So I couldn't hear any linking words. I did hear not only and but also. That also was not used in the correct way. So he tried, but it was not correct. Also, the discourse marker basically was overused. It was said 5 times and it was used at inappropriate places as well. So because of this reason, even though his pace was good, he wasn't too fast, not too slow. However, he would still get a band 6 in fluency. This is where I feel he lost quite a lot of marks. Apart from this, his speech was really well. Moving forward to the next criteria that we have, which is very important, grammar. Now, I do feel that he did not make a lot of grammar errors, so that was a good thing. He made some grammatical errors. Let's look at what those were. So, for example, right at the beginning, he said 3 campuses in very same city. So you can see that the article is missing. 3 campuses in the very same city. Then after that, he said, I want to become international marketing manager. So again, the article was missing, an international marketing manager. Then here as well, there are a few things beside from. So the preposition was not used correctly. He should have said there are a few things besides this that give value to. So there were a few errors which persisted. And if you are aware, the second part of grammar, which is grammatical range. So he did use a mix of simple and complex sentences. With those was an occasional lapse. When he was trying to make complex sentences, there were some errors that swept in. So as I said, this connector not only but also was not used correctly. He said not only but even. So there were slight errors. He did try. And for that trial, he would definitely get marks. He would get a band 7 in his grammar. Now, moving forward to the last criteria, which is vocabulary. Now, very interesting. His vocabulary was apt, to the point. It was perfect. He didn't misuse any word. Whatever words he used were correct, and his vocabulary was sufficient. He wasn't scrambling for words. He was not out of words or short of words. So the vocabulary he used was appropriate. However, did you notice that there was some repetition, especially of words such as basically? And in part 2, in his cue card task, the word vehicle was repeated quite a lot of times. So instead, maybe he could have said automobile, or he could have said mode of transport, or he could have said conveyance. So he could definitely have used different synonyms instead of repeating the words. Another thing, if you noticed, was in part 3, when I asked him the question, that what are the, can you compare, how have people's perception to things changed? So there was slight parroting of the question. He could have paraphrased and answered. That was missing. And another part was, there was a lack of uncommon words. I didn't spot many uncommon words, nor did I spot any idioms or phrasal verbs. So that is one place where he could have gained a lot of marks had he tried putting a few of those. So here as well, he got a band 7. And if you compile all of these bands, 8, 6, 7, and 7, you get an overall 7. So that is the band that Rishabh got. He got he got a band 7 in speaking, which is a stellar band. It's a really good band, especially if you're targeting any of the countries abroad. All the universities would definitely accept this. And one way in which Rishabh's speech would have become a little better was the content of the answers in part 3. So if you remember the first question I asked, what are the things that give status to people? He compared it with the past, which was a great thing to do. But this part of the question, what things provide status, was not focused on. He didn't talk about any particular things. He could have spoken about the fact that branded clothes or cars, luxury cars, or a big house, these are the things that provide status. So that was left slightly unanswered. So part 3 expansion is extremely important. The content needs to be really good. All in all, I feel Rishabh had a lot of scope. He had a lot of, he was really, he could reach a really good band. There were slight simple errors that happened in between, but having said that, band 7 is also a really good band to aim for. So that is all from my side for the day. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you liked it, please click on the like button. Subscribe to our channel IELTS Prep by LeapScholar so that we keep bringing you such videos, and do comment down what next you want to watch on our channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.